everyone. Now, of course, as you can tell, another Joker video. But before we get into it, I should probably mention a few things. First of all, I know my face-off videos are usually the most popular videos on my channel. And while I do try to be really as objective as possible, at the end of the day, so much of this is pretty subjective. I mean, yeah, there are movies and decisions in movies that are clearly bad or those that are clearly impressive and remarkable, but so much is also so very subjective that it's really hard to get a completely objective point across. So, I guess I should have said this a long time ago, but there you have it. Another thing, particular to this video, like my last video with Heath Ledger versus Mark Hamill, I'm going to be doing less of a more round by round, he wins this round, he wins this round, face off, more like a general comparison. So, yeah, that's the important thing to know about this video. I guess finally, I guess you can figure this out due to my last Joker video, but I've always preferred Mark Hamill as like the best Joker portrayal. But that's mainly because he's gotten so much opportunities to play the character in TV shows, films, video games. It is really hard to top that much work and effort into a single portrayal when a bunch of the other people only get really one shot at it. Now, having said that, I think it's time we finally get into it. Now, of course, some light spoilers. I'm not really going to try and reveal any big major reveal, but you should really see the movie at least once first. Yes, yes, I know, Quachi. I'm gonna get to it now. Alright, so, like I said, even though this isn't going to be a round by round kind of face off, we are going to look at a few particular aspects. So let's talk about wardrobe. Heath Ledger's Joker appears to be pretty accurate. The purple suit, the makeup, although there are a few fundamental differences. For Heath Ledger's Joker, instead of the whole purple suit jacket, it's really more of a trench coat. Now, I know on the surface, it probably doesn't make that much of a difference, but if you think about it, there are a lot of movies where there are certain characters that have trench coats, and those characters are usually shown to be the loner, the outsider, someone who plays things by his own rules. And those kinds of people in movies are usually the anti heroes, where they'll do questionable things, but they are fundamentally doing things for the greater good. With Joker, though, in that Heath Ledger's Dark Knight film, it is to make him single out as more of like a this guy is very different from the other criminals Batman has gone up against so far. Another fundamental difference with Heath Ledger's wardrobe costume is his makeup, actually. Joker's has always been his skin is just naturally that pale. But of course, with Heath Ledger's, it's actual pale makeup and like other makeup colors on his face that get smudged and like get wiped off in clumps throughout the film. And of course, he actually has actual scars around his lips that he paints over with red to make it show like a big creepy smile. Now, these are certainly fundamental differences, but they work for the film he was in. For Joaquin Phoenix's portrayal as the Joker, things do, on the surface, really go sort of a different route. First of all, his clothing. It's orange, red, I think a little bit of green. It is, color scheme wise, very different from the purple suit. But in this film, in this world, it works remarkably well. I really dig that look. As for the actual makeup, it's again makeup painted on because it's again a grounded real world take on the Joker. But it really takes more after more both classic clown makeup from like really old times and also a little bit of a John Wayne Gacy inspiration. And that gives a more of a, like a real world aspect to it that's both sort of like a loving homage to like classic clown makeup, but also kind of creepy when you realize, yeah, there are real murderous clowns in our real world, like John Wayne Gacy. Gives more like a more real grounded aspect to it. Not saying Heath Ledger's wasn't really grounded, but as domestic terrorist goes, he's like again comic book level domestic terrorist, which it was a comic book movie, sure, but for Christopher Nolan, who's usually trying to be so really grounded and stuff, it is kind of different when you compare it to something like Dunkirk. Now let's talk about, of course, The Laugh. With The Laugh, Heath Ledger doesn't really get a whole bunch of laugh time, but it is sort of like some of that classic Joker laugh stuff with like some. I mean, it's really hard to like describe the Joker laugh in a way because we know what it is, but it's hard to describe. You got some low laughs from him, a couple of high laughs, giddy. I mean, he uses it as a sort of weapon to like try to intimidate or throw off his opponents. With Joaquin Phoenix's laugh, it's portrayed as a serious medical condition where he can't really control it. It pops up at random. It can go from low to high, or it can start off right at high level, high pitched laugh, which is even creepier. And throughout most of the film, it looks like it's physically really hurting him. Although when he actually goes and dons the Joker costume, the real full on Joker persona, the laugh thing is there, but it's noticeably less hurtful. Like, it doesn't really grab his chest in pain anymore, really. And those are really subtle differences that I really love and appreciate it. Now, let's talk about his motivation slash organization, I guess. Again, Heath Ledger's Joker is a self claimed agent of chaos. Although, of course, his plans had to have been really planned out well in advance. And to be fair, while I have been critical of that aspect, it is in a way still accurate because Joker has always been like a chaotic character, but he's always sometimes has like over convoluted and complicated plans and schemes to get what he wants. Now with Joaquin Phoenix, it's nothing really like that. He's more of a force of nature rather than a guy who feels like he's got things all figured out. And with Joaquin Phoenix's motivations slash organization, he's someone that's in control, but also can go out of control very quickly and easily. Like, he's in control of one moment, but then he's just simply reacting and deviating off course in the next minutes, but always figuring out what to do right afterwards. That is, again, another faithful and accurate part of the Joker itself. And of course, while he really doesn't have like a big main goal, Joaquin Phoenix's Joker does have a few personal bones to pick, which he does. And with Heath Ledger's Joker, it seems like his big goal is just to create chaos with really no other real actual goal in mind, which in a way does make him very scary. I do really love both of these portrayals. And there is a lot going for both these characters in various different ways. I think part of me sort of has to give the edge to Joaquin Phoenix. I know I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, and people are probably going to be like, you can't really compare these two, and in many ways they're right. Right. Heath Ledger's, we don't really have an origin, but he is Joker in his prime. With Joaquin Phoenix's, it's really all about the journey to becoming the Joker, but he does get enough time to be full on Joker for the last little bit. And last little bit, I mean like last 15, 20 minutes or so. people who've seen the movie know what I'm talking about. So in a lot of ways, it feels like it's unfair to compare Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix. Like how I admit it's probably unfair I compared Mark Hamill's Joker to Heath Ledger's. But if I have to speak personally about what I have noticed in between these two versions of the character, I am gravitating towards Joaquin Phoenix in a weird way. I mean, I know this is probably going to make a lot of people either really angry or like confused or surprised, but I've seen this film multiple times already in a very short span, and each time I look at the film, I notice all these key things that I've noticed, these key subtle changes, what he does in this particular scene and such. It is really a special and unique film. And I probably should do a separate mini review video of this Joker film. But yeah, there are going to be days where I feel like I do prefer Heath Ledger's more, but as of right now, and probably overall for the long term, I am going to kind of prefer Joaquin Phoenix over Heath Ledger. But ultimately, Mark Hamill wins, although he does give Joaquin Phoenix a lot of praise for his performance. So that's really all I have right now. Like, comment, which I'm sure you will, subscribe, maybe share, and I'll see you guys next time.